Hello everybody, it's a cursing seamstress. I think I recorded a video prior to this one and I never uploaded it, so I don't even know what was on it. So I've been sewing quite a bit. I finished up one thing this morning, and so I thought I would just show you. I do have work today, but I don't have to be there for a little bit. So first of all, the people I sew for in church, I sew for a couple of little girls, and then there's a bigger girl. She wears a size 14. I've been making her with leftover fabric. Her mother calls them sleep shorts, but they are shorts, and they're loose fitting in the leg. They're pretty short shorts, and I'm trying to think. I think it might be made for mermaid. It's Patterns for Pirates. Those are sister companies. So whenever I would have scraps left over, if it was wide enough to cut the shorts, I would do that. So I took some into her last Sunday, and she was very thankful. She's very sweet. And but then she came over and she said, "You've made me like 17 pairs of shorts, but now it's getting cold. Could you make me some long pants?" So I said, yes, I will certainly do that. Unfortunately, my fabric that I have on hand, I don't have any cuddly fabric. I've got some stretchy fleece, but it's kind of thick. I didn't know how that would do. So I had this fabric, and I knew I wasn't going to have anything that I could make for myself out of it. It's just a little bit too bright. I think it might be a Robert Kaufman. I'm not for sure. And it was a thrifted fabric. So these are the pants that I made. And I don't even know it's a Simplicity or one of the big four patterns. But anyway, just very simple. I put a little ribbon so she can tell the back from the front. I do have iron-on name labels, but I didn't use those. My preferred way is to sew down the elastic, and I think this is just a 3/4 inch elastic. So those are the pants, and I thought the pants looked kind of lonely, so I made a top, and I don't know, I hope this won't be too big for her. I think it's a medium, it might be a small, and it's I don't have the pattern number, but I've made this before. It can be either a top or a gown. I made the gown for my daughter at one point, and she felt like a granny in it, she told me. So that's the end of my using that pattern for her. So I made the top, and it's a little bit weird here with the gathers, but I mean, they're supposed to be gathers, but I used ready-made bias binding for the neck rather than cutting it from the fabric because I'm kind of lazy. Then I made this. It says Simplicity Kids 9266. It looks like a pretty old pattern. Somebody wrote on there to make it for somebody in 1996, so it's a pretty old pattern. But they had a vest pattern. I've made this pattern before. I made it for my grandboy when he was probably 6 years old, and there's such a problem with it, and I knew it when I was making it, and I kept thinking maybe I can use the burrito method, and I even looked it up, how to use the burrito method with the vest, and I don't think you can. So I did what I did the first time I made it and just worked with it. So this is the vest. You've seen this fabric before. This is, I believe, Robert Kaufman. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love this. That's the back. It has a little piece here to gather with buttons. I use, my sister-in-law gave me a bunch of buttons, and so that's one. And then she also gave me these yellow buttons. I don't know if you can see them. And this is a lined vest. So where I had to do something different with this vest is because it's, for me anyway, it was impossible to do what they were asking. So you were supposed to sew everything together, right sides together, except for the side seams. And to finish the side seams, you were supposed to sew in a circle, pin the facings together and the right sides together and sew in a circle. Well, this is such a short, I couldn't even get it under my machine to do that. And I started to do it by hand, and that wasn't good. So what I ended up doing was I just sewed it together. So there is a seam there. It's not finished off the way that they wanted you to do it, but I think it's okay. It's okay. And I just looked, there's a vest pattern that I'm looking at making for myself. It's also a pattern probably from the 90s. So it's a V-neck vest, and it comes past the hips, and it may not be in style, but I think we're sort of in a period where anything's in style. So I thought I would make it, and I looked to see how they finished it off, and it's the same way. But it should be a longer seam, so maybe it won't be impossible. However, I was looking online when I searched use the burrito method on a vest, and Melly Sews, I think she also has a pattern company. It might be, I think it's Blank Slate. So she has a free pattern for a little kid's vest, and she goes through how to finish it with all the seams being enclosed. And she does it in a very different way, not any burrito method way, but it involves inserting the front pieces right sides together, leaving a gap along the sides, and then stitching the shoulders together at that point and pulling it back out again, I think. I'm gonna have to look at it more carefully. I did save the web page so I can go back and look at that. So the other thing that I've been doing, and I don't have all of them here, but I just wanted to show you, I've been giving these away as gifts, and these are just banners that I've made. This is from Urban Threads or Embroidery Library. My battery's about to go dead. Same thing here. This I designed myself, and I did different state outlines for North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and I think